And this year we're honored to, I asked this Margaret Salinas to please, if she would do it. And when I asked her if she was sitting down, and she says, yes, Bernie, what can I do for you? I said, I would love for you and your daughters to sing the national anthem for us. And she said, let me get back to you. Well, about 4 hours later, she finally did get back to me. So it is my honor and privilege to have Margaret, daughter Summer, and Autumn sing the national anthem. Please join them in singing. Good morning, comrades, sisters of the VFW, Post 9240, 26359, the American Legion, Post 69. Welcome, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are once again gathered to pay tribute to those comrades and sisters of our armed forces who served and gave such unselfish service to the defense of our country. As long as two comrades survive, the veterans of foreign wars of the United States of America will render tribute to our heroic dead. Comrade Chaplain, will you deliver the opening prayer, please?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here, supporting us today. Very special day for all of us. Thank you. Father of us all, in the depth of our silence and reverence, we realize the truth of the inspired words.
We have some distinguished guests that will be speaking today. Our first guest will be Ignacio Velasquez, our mayor. Please come up.
Tricky today with the wind blowing the speech around. But it's an honor to be here today amongst so many of our local heroes, honoring those who gave their lives so that we can have a better future, freedom, and more opportunity in our lives. Memorial Day is the day that we should all take a moment to look up to the heavens and thank the over 1 million brave souls that gave their lives and made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can have our freedom and opportunity for success. Recently, I gave a speech to a young group of people ready to move on in their lives, move forward, make a name for themselves in the world. And I said to them that if you really want success, you first have to appreciate the sacrifices that have been given to them by others. And that they should visit the Vietnam Memorial Wall, Arlington National Cemetery, and the American Cemetery in France. I could see that their eyes were shifting around, wondering what this crazy old man was talking about. I could also see the parents in the back shaking their heads up and down. I had a few of them come to me afterwards and ask what I meant by visiting cemeteries and memorials. And I explained to them that when you visit the Vietnam Memorial, you'll see thousands of names of young men and women who died in that war. And their names are etched onto that wall. Each of those names has a history. And they have hundreds of people that love them and miss them and mourn their loss. And that if you run your finger across one of those names, you will instantly feel that connection with that person and you will never forget that moment. I said, if you go to Arlington National Cemetery, what you'll see is a sea of grave markers, over 400,000. All those people gave their lives for you. And if you go on to Normandy, France, to look at the American cemetery, I told them first, go to England, take the ferry from England at Dover, on the deck, look back, look at the white cliffs of Dover, and imagine what thousands of young people were thinking on June 6, 1944, as they sailed off on a day they knew could be their last day. And when they get to France, I said, don't go straight to the cemetery. Walk the beaches. Go to Omaha, Juneau, some of the other beaches that were battle points. Then walk along the cliffs, see all the craters that were left by the bombs that fell that day. Walk through the points where they had their machine guns set up to shoot anybody that was on that beach coming at them. Then go to the American Cemetery and look at the 10,000 crosses for people that died for that battle. And if you look closely at those crosses, you will see that most of those that died were your age. They all had the same idea, the same dreams of a successful and happy life, but they gave their lives up for you. That's what freedom is. Over 1 million have given their lives for all of us to have a better and more successful future. I finished by telling them that to have true success, you have to be thankful those that gave you the opportunity, and please make sure it wasn't in vain. My Theo fought in World War II. He was part of the D-Day invasion. And every time I would ask him about the war, he'd always have the same answer for me. He'd give me a blank stare, and he'd say, no bueno, no bueno, no bueno. That's all he would say about the war. Abraham Lincoln said during his Gettysburg Address, we are here, highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. God bless all of you, and may God bless Hollister and the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Ignacio. Our next speaker is no other than our famous Mr. Dave Westrick, the unbeatable.
Thank you, Bernie. First, I want to thank the City of Hollister for actually blocking off the roadway for us today. It's pretty nice, isn't it? I think it's pretty nice. We'll probably do that again for other services down here. I'll be brief. I'm not a politician. I don't think I have to run for. I'm not going to grab a mayor. But I think today is a day that we need to celebrate these veteran sacrifices and thank them. And the way I think we can do that is do those things that they fought for. You know, use your freedom of speech. Go out and do those things with freedom of religion and make those choices that they all fought for. And do that every single day. It's important that we recognize that they paid with our blood for those freedoms to occur in our country. And we need to continue to do that. Thank you very much, and God bless America.
Our next speaker is Robert Pena.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Pena. I'm with the VA, Veterans Administration. I'm specifically a readjustment counselor for veterans who suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, MST, military sexual trauma, and TBI, traumatic brain injury. What I do for a living, ladies and gentlemen, is help our veterans readjust to their surroundings. Been doing this for 7 years. Background, Air Force veteran, never went overseas, San Jose police officer until I got hurt, and now this is my calling. With all due respect to the other services out here, I just want to say that the Vietnam veteran, thanks to you, I was able to grow up with my father. I always say that when I meet a Vietnam veteran for the simple reason, they came back and my father was able to come back. My father is 67 to 68, Vietnam. And seeing the things that he went through makes me a little bit of an expert of PTSD and what you're going through on a daily basis. So I just want to add and conclude that the San Jose Vet Center is the only vet center in the United States open 7 days a week. San Jose Vet Center is the only vet center in the United States open from 7 to midnight, Monday through Friday. I work the 3:30 to midnight shift because depression doesn't stop at 5 o'clock. Anxiety doesn't cut out at 10 o'clock at night. But again, we have a lot of our vets who are going to school, who go to work, so we want to make sure that they have a place to come to express themselves. I thank each and one of you for what I'm able to do today to help you understand what's going on in your families and what's going on in your minds. It's something that I'm very much proud to do. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank all of you for your services to this country. It's a beautiful world.
Thank you, Robert. Our next speaker is Supervisor Mark Medina.
Thank you for being here today. It's an honor to stand in front of you and speak about something I hold so dearly, remembering the sacrifices of our nation's heroes. These days, you hear a lot of "don't just barbecue," or Memorial Day isn't just a day off. While that's true, I don't want to beat you over the head with it. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the extra time spent with family and friends. Enjoy your backyard barbecue, or however you decide to spend it. But I ask you this, please don't forget why you have this day off. This is why we here gather to honor our veterans. The few were so willing to give of themselves to defend their brothers and sisters and their country. But there is a difference about today. Memorial Day isn't just about honoring veterans. Simply stated, that's Veterans Day. Memorial Day is about honoring those who lost their lives. Veterans have the ability to come back home. These individuals never made it back home alive. Memorial Day is a day we as a country come together to honor and remember our servicemen and women who answered Americans' call to service and paid the ultimate price. Memorial Day is a time for Americans as one body to stand up and say thank you. We remember you. We are grateful to you. We will remember the fallen. Every year, families of the fallen are joined together and bound by loss in a way most of us can't ever imagine. The military families are something special, aren't they? Bereaved parents often become isolated after this tragic loss. Friends don't know what to say about a grief no words can touch. We don't have a word for a parent who has lost a child. Webster's or Oxford can't define it. So these mothers and fathers and our military fallen call themselves Gold Star. Based in the tradition of the service flag that hung in homes during the World Wars, each blue star on the banner stood for a loved one overseas. Gold honored those never coming home. We remember and we thank you for your sacrifice. It's daunting, I know. When we think of the tremendous sacrifices survivors and veterans have made physically, emotionally, how can we possibly say thanks? The best way to thank them is to honor their fallen, to care for their wounded, their brothers and sisters, and to safeguard their families. Our men and women who serve are an extraordinarily selfish group. They fight as a team and as a family, and they look out for one another to their last dying breath. Trust me when I say there is no better way to thank a veteran than to protect their brethren. Take the time, just not for Memorial Day, but every day, and take a moment to say thank you to our fallen. For those who never left the battlefields, we must hold them up in our hometowns and honor their memories. Say thank you to our Gold Star families and ask them to tell you about their loved ones if they wish. We should spend time reflecting on their service and sacrifice and live in gratitude each and every day for a precious gift they have given us. As a nation, we made a promise that must be kept. To honor our fallen, we must keep that promise. We keep those promises by strengthening the programs and services that have injured our ill veterans rely on. We must ensure they and their caregivers are properly supported. We thank our veterans by fighting for them when they can't, by ensuring they and their survivors get the care they earned when they wrote a blank check made payable up to, including their lives. So please spend some extra time with your loved ones. Step back from the daily stresses and reflect on your freedom that so many of our sons and daughters died to protect. I'm not asking you not to have a barbecue. I'm asking you to remember why you have the luxury and the freedom we enjoy today. Thank you, and may God bless our fallen, our veterans, and active duty military, and of course the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Our last speaker, Jerry Stevenson, he is our service officer here in Hollister, helps so many veterans get their claims in, and we appreciate her very much. Jerry, please.
On this day, we remember the ones that we have lost in San Benito County, those that we have lost on the battlefield, those we have lost because of the battlefield, those we have lost in preparation of the battle, and those we will continue to lose as this conflict goes on. All of them brave, every single one, no matter what, because at 17, 18, 19, when they signed that paper, securing their life for our country, a paper that they don't fully understand. However, they come to understand the implications of the enemy fairly quickly. And no matter what job they sign up to do or for, it's all a very occupational hazard with sacrifices in uniform. That our young men and women who volunteer for this, no matter what the motive, have one thing in common, and that's true love of country. A true love of our country to sacrifice, if necessary, and to die for her. And present today with our families, they're present with their banners and proud of their service member, standing in support of them and their sacrifices. Let's not forget the high price that is paid for generations. The media is so distracted on their own political agenda that they lost touch of what is happening in our military conflict and how we, as American civilians, can continue our support for those overseas and our families at home. That we've become so complacent only to relish in the long weekend as just a holiday with the barbecue. And that's how the media and the ads sell it to you, instead of as a memorial, as it is. Today is our day to mourn and to remember our service members and to say rest in peace and to express our sincere gratitude.
Thank you, Sherry. I'm going to read you something. A lot of people ask me what is, and I'll get teary-eyed, but it's okay. Ask me, what does Memorial Day mean to me? Well, I have two names in frames in one of the rooms in my house. And these men will never be forgotten. Being a combat veteran, they're with me every single day, the day I die. Here's a poem that I found. Yes, I'm a Vietnam veteran, I'm proud. When you see my tears, don't feel sorry for me. The tears are for a reason. The tears of pain, hope, joy, and thanks. Tears of pain for those who did not come home. The tears of hope that will never be another war. Tears of joy because our country has finally separated the warriors from the war. And tears of thanks for taking the burden off our shoulders by erecting the wall. Thank you. Comrades, attention. These graves represent the resting place of many of our departed comrades who served in all wars. Wherever the body of a comrade lies, there the ground is hollowed. Our presence here is in solemn commemoration for all those men and women who expression of tribute to their devotion to the duty, to their courage and patriotism, to their service on land, on sea, and in the air. They have made us their debtors, for the flag of our nation still flies over the land of the free. Officers and members of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States of America, Post 9242, 6359, Lady Auxiliaries, and the American Legion will now pay our respects to our departed comrades. In doing so, we offer solemn tribute to all comrades wherever they may rest. Please place your wreaths. Thank you. Honor Guard Captain, carry out your orders and fire 3 volleys, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our memorial service. Thank you for attending. Please remember, we do have a barbecue. It's only $10. And all this money that we raised out here, it goes for these banners up here, helping our veterans. So anything if you purchase a lunch, it all goes back to our community. Again, thank you all for coming. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.